Hey Dream Team, what's up? Gosh, I hope I'm in the Dream Team. I always do that. I always have instant panic that I went live on my personal page.
Oh.
So I guess we'll wait and see. Please tell me I'm on the Dream Team.
Dream Team.
Anyone want to comment and let me know
Is anyone watching this?
that I'm on the right spot? Is this the Dream Team? Give me some hearts and say yes if I'm on the team page. Instant panic attack every single time. Yes, I believe I am. Okay, I see people that I'm not friends with. Okay, so yes, Dream Team page, awesome. Please do not kick that down. That is so close. Okay, so so many conversations over the last couple months, and he has people reach out to him all the time, and I do in the comments, and I've had it come up personally. So I wanted to jump on and talk about something. We're not going to be super long, but here's the thing. This guy, we can have people in the household sell. A lot of people think like, their daughters, their older daughters, but also your spouses can sell too. But within policies and procedures, they need to have their own independent business outside of you. A lot of times people will think that men cannot sell nail polish, but that is just statistically wrong. And before this business, I can say that like when I go shopping, like at Nordstrom, it's usually a guy manager selling me women's shoes, makeup places and stuff. And then like when he goes to get his hair cut, it's always women that he interacts with. Yeah. So personally, I was in the restaurant industry for a long time. The guys always made the best tips for some reason. It's going to be kind of interview style, but we're going to talk about two things. How he has independently been able to get his own sales and his own team members and kind of how that started. And then a lot of people have brought up that they have like potential stylists that their husbands aren't on board. And like from his perspective, like how he, because before, he wasn't a stylist. He was my partner and kind of came on board because a lot of people, like we have stylists right now, that are upper leadership that husbands still aren't on board. But here's the thing, they have to be working independently. So he started going full steam ahead back in September. He did sign up a little bit before that, but just wasn't really trying that much. He hit a few jump starts right now. The last few months, he's been paid as team leader. He is kissing director. And he has recruited a few of his own people, and he has hit the Comic Club and consistently be cute. So, and that is something that he's done on his own, and we're going to kind of talk about that. So we're going to say, like, the first thing that we'd feel is, like, he was just knowledgeable from watching me about the product. Yeah. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Like, how it all works.
Yeah, I don't want to say forced to listen, but, it's a huge part of it. It is your life, so, you being my partner, of course, I take an interest in everything you do. Well, and it just, the whole thing of it being a business and how it's ran interested me because, I was one of those people that watched a couple Dateline episodes about MLMs, and all of a sudden I thought I was an expert, and I thought you guys all had a garage full of crap that you were forced to buy, and your marriages were going to end soon because of it, and you were going to end up in divorce court fighting over nail strips.
And
literally.
And we all have those people that are on, in our circles that are super skeptical. And I know like a lot of spouses worry about that too. But here's the other big thing is like before he signed the link, I had gotten a lot of customers from him and just telling them about it. Yeah. And then I've had, from his circle and stuff, join my team. And that was kind of like, when the PMP changed, like, you could be doing this too. So like, what was your hesitation that you had to get through before you actually, because you signed up but didn't do anything for a few months.
Yeah.
What made you, because I know you went to what made you decide like this is something you could go ahead and do?
Well, for one, I went to your conference, and I gained I gained knowledge about it, and I saw it as a business opportunity. Then, I watch a lot of shows like Shark Tank and stuff like that, and so I understand about product and about like market being saturated with a bunch of the same products. And then when I did a little investigation about Color Street, and I found out that it was a unique one of a kind item, that it can't be duplicated because of patents and whatnot, and that it's not available in your brick and mortar, and that right there really intrigued me and sold me on the fact that it's a great business opportunity, because you're not going to compete against 20 other or 100 other companies that are doing the same thing. That right there. Then when I started having people from like my social network, message me about what you were doing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I feel like I'm leaving money on the table here. And I found that, you always ask me before we go out, hey, do I look good? Does this look good with that? And I kind of noticed that women value a man's opinion a lot. And that, my opinion with females goes a long way. And and that, I found is a strong point for me. Like today I went and got my hair did, looks good, but when a new girl was cutting it, and, she's, I just conversate with them, and she asked me what I do. And I told her I do sales, and she's like, oh, really? What do you sell? And I always carry this thing with me, this little black mammy, and in it I always have like samples, and then my info on the back and whatnot. Oh.
So, like, he branded his own self, like, where he talked about being a separate entity. Like, he has his own, he does Empowered Nails with Gerard. His last name's Powers.
And then I got a little business card and whatnot. And, and I gave it to her, and then, a couple other of the hairstylists were like, oh, what is this? She showed them. Before I knew it, I passed out 5 or 6 samples, 4 or 5 cards. And I did it that way. A lot of my guy friends, that's another angle that I use is, I'm like, hey, it's a great birthday present, Christmas present, or just, hey, it's a good present. I've had a lot of my friends buy from me that way, but what it took was me understanding that I could do it, and that I had the potential and the resources and the know-how, and just understanding the business and how people operate, and that I'm not limited and I'm not bound by just being a guy that I can't do it.
Well, and then what was another big thing that I noticed too, which kind of clicked for me, is like before he signed up, like he had, his network, which he would try to like get them to try my product, and they I'd like reach out to your family or whatever, and they weren't really open.
They weren't receptive.
No, they weren't really receptive. But then like when they found out that he was selling it, then his sister requested a sample. His brother requested a sample for his, his niece. Ex-girlfriend, funny,
hey,
but but like, you know what I mean? So like our partners have a circle, and it's about that, he has a relationship with them, he has trust already built with them, so those are his own customers. So like he does do things like, he doesn't really, we did try to do a VIP for this. He's not big on social media. He's working on that, but his niche really is in person. And if you've ever met him, and he's always been a smooth talker and with sales and stuff like that. So like he is really good with the in-person stuff. And then like he will just talk to people on the phone, and like going into some different establishments. Do you want to talk about that? Like he's done this, which is an angle I've never done, but he just had, like, I'm more social media, and he's done the events and in person. So
well, and just to touch on the social media thing, you have to get out of here. What I found, I'm not going to use you statements, I'm going to use I statements. I found that I do, if I want to keep expanding and going forward, and not be stagnant, is that I have to get uncomfortable to become comfortable. Meaning that, you know, like social media, it's not a big thing for me to even do stuff like this, you know. So I've had to learn to, you know, and I'm blessed to have like Brittany and her resources and people in social media and network marketing people. So I don't have to bang my head repeatedly to figure out what works and doesn't work. There's a set system that works, and that I don't have to, you know, reinvent the wheel or anything like that. I just have to follow what's placed in front of me and that it works. And so, you know, and then to move on, you know, yeah, being a guy, you know, it's a little different, you know. I can't, you know, I'm a huge fan of college football, so I belong to Facebook groups and stuff, you know, and I just can't be on the center like, hey guys, what's up with nail polish? You know, it's not gonna happen. But you know, I think outside the box. You know, I'm not, you know, trying to be arrogant or anything, but, you know, girls will talk to me, and I use it as a selling opportunity, you know. I mean,
he pushes me too, like, as far as, so, like, I'm social media, he's in person, like, he is so, like, he just goes right for it, which, like, has encouraged me to go right for it, like, you know, like, he'll, like, look at her nails. So he did that before, but now, like, if I don't jump on a person, he will pass his stuff out. So it's, like, encouraged me, like, we'll have friendly competitions, and I'll be like, dang, where is he? And then I'll see, like, literally talking to a stranger. That is, I'm getting a lot better at it, but that's his niche. That's where he's, like, more comfortable with, and so, like, it blows my mind. And then I think it could be, like, fun for, like, a relationship, like a little friendly competition.
Yeah, well, and, you know, to touch on what you're talking about, you know, we all have skills, okay, and that are good in one thing, but, you know, what I didn't realize is that a lot of skills that I use for this are transferable to other things. And, you know, the biggest thing about talking to people face to face is, what's the worst thing that can possibly happen? They say no to me. And, you know, being a single guy, I got used to hearing no a lot, you know. I mean, hey, it is what it is, you know. So, you know, with that being said, you know, when I got over the fear of hearing no, I mean, it's okay, cool. Have a great day. I'll catch you later.
And, like, I've really tried to not make this, like, a guy-girl thing, because I've signed up many males, and I know there are some people that are like, listen, I'm here to empower women, and that's great, and that's fine, but, and if you want to look at it that way, that's fine, too, but I'm more as an opportunity, and it being inclusive to anybody, man or women, and I don't think there needs to be a different way from how men and women do it, but I do know that there are some people that in their mind they think there are, and that's kind of what this was for, because a lot of the stuff he's saying I do, and you can do too as a stylist, and a lot of those tips, but I know there are, you know, some people that do separate those boxes, like a man and a woman.
Well, what we do is we make the decision for them. Instead of, we take the power out of making the choice for them, making the choice for themselves, and we predetermine and make the choice for them, which is, I mean, you're selling yourself short. You're leaving money on the table, because, you know, there's been tons of people that, and just all different aspects of my life, that have done things that I didn't think they would do for me or bought from me or whatever, and I discounted them. I didn't think they would, you know, and I almost made the choice for them, but I was like, hey, what the hell, give it a shot. And I did it, and they said yes, and it literally would blow me out of my chair. So, you know, that's something I don't do. I don't make someone's decision for them. And, you know, I don't look at this as something that's gender specific. You know, anyone can do it. Like you said, when you go into Nordstrom, who's selling you your pumps?
I do not wear pumps. I would snap my neck. But the shoe guy with my comfortable flats.
You go into a designer purse store. You know, it's usually like a 50-50 ratio. Guys and girls that are selling purses and wallets, you know. It is what it is. You know, that's the society we live in today. You know, nothing's really gender specific anymore, or that you're bound to
and
do.
when we're looking at this as an opportunity.
I saw a lady trash person. So, you see what I'm saying?
I mean, well, just like girl, you know, that's what I mean. Like,
Trash
it doesn't
man.
matter.
It's not a trash man. It's a trash woman.
It's just it's an opportunity, and that's how I look at it. Casey, he has had both men and women join his team. Both men and women on his team. And here, you know, and he does vendor events, not a whole lot, but he has, and he does better than me at vendor events for some reason. Actually, I know the reason, because he's a talker. He's a lot better. He using it as we're frozen right now, but we should be going up good. And if so anyways, like, he's really good as approaching as an opportunity. So, and we wanted to also talk real quick that a lot of people, and from his point of view, husbands that are hesitant to have women sign up. And I have had these people, like stylists, say, like, our few prospective stylists that want to sign up with their husbands because maybe they, you know, have certain fears. And like, for one, I have always offered them their husbands to talk to him. And I've done that a couple times, and it has definitely done it. But the biggest thing is trying to figure out what their fears are. And like, for you, like, you had no idea when you got into this, like, what were some of like your worries as like about this? Like,
when me and you, you know, we had known each other for years, but like when we became a couple kind of thing, well, we started dating and whatnot. And you told me what you did. Again, you know, I had contempt with no prior investigation. Like I said, I'd watched a Dateline episode or two about other MLMs, and I pictured you with a bedroom with nails stacked to the roof. And when and that's the biggest thing, is that's not what it's about. Because
the husbands or spouses or partners, they're protective.
Yeah.
So sometimes they have this fear that their wives or their girlfriends are going to get taken advantage of.
Hustled, you know, conned. And that does happen. But what I found is that with anything in life, you know, you have to look into it. The way, you know, Color Street is completely transparent, you know.
Income disclosure.
Yeah, you know. And that was the biggest thing. And then when I actually learned a little bit about Color Street, I learned that, you know, you don't buy stuff to have it on hand to sell. You do for vendor events, but if you're just selling, you have a website, they order through your website, that's it. You know, it's our natural instinct to be protective over our partner.
So, like, easing those fears would help. And then another thing is, like, you, like, want to make sure that, and not, like, wifely duties is being, but, like, that I'm here and present for my family and the kids. And, like,
and that's the biggest thing, is you put up boundaries, you know.
I did move him. Jerry is not, and you guys, I'm kind of in a position where I don't really keep anybody at the top when I sign up, but he wasn't doing anything, so he got placed like everyone else. So yeah, he's not direct to me.
No.
He's in one of my other legs and stuff, but and you know, and we do have the prerogative in this business, and I've seen other people place their moms, you know, to help them, or their sisters, and like, that's another motivator. Like, you can place and move people under them, but they have to have organic sales and a customer base for it not to be flagged. And I'm just telling you, like, just be careful of that. Like, and yeah, like, I don't have a garage full of nail strips. I do on-hand sales and stuff, so I have, but it's reasonable. But I do think, like, it was that thing, like, fear, being protective, making sure that the time thing, that
you have time for your family, that you don't become completely inundated with this business opportunity. So it's not a cult, you know.
It's not a cult.
You know, you're not gonna get.
I'm gonna get
CC
Color
for
Street
life
on my neck. But
it's
no,
yes for life.
The thing is, so what I would say for a lot of those husbands that are on the fence is like you have to ask what their fears are, and like when people in their fear like the money, like okay, well the first thing we're gonna show you is how to make your investment back. You guys, that is one of my biggest things when I sign up people in my first goals for them. Of course, we have huge goals. But like a goal is like what am I going? Let's get your investment back. Let's work for that. And then the other thing is ask them the questions like, so if their worry is the time, make sure they know that we have systems to teach them on social media on like, this is flexible, so they're not going to be gone. How far do you want to take this, Gerard? Are you trying to be a Ruby?
Well, with anything in life, I want to succeed. I
have a goal for him. I'm a bad leader that places the goals on him. I want him to walk the stage at conference as a senior director. That is my goal for him. The first guy to walk the stage in Colorado Street.
With anything, I want to kill it. I like to win at what I do. I like to succeed. I don't like feeling like I failed or I fell short, So, I think, with the right attitude, the sky's the limit. What?
We do. We need to get shirts that say we are not a cult.
No kidding. Maybe, one day, I don't know.
But no, like, I would love for him to be. I think that would just be so cool just as a representative for the company to have, like, a male, like, leader, senior director, executive. But it would just also be, like personally, too, I would feel good if you were able to do that. But
and I believe 100% it will happen. When it'll happen, I want it to happen next week. But, things happen when they happen.
I don't think he's thought of a team name yet. Have you?
What?
They asked what your team name is.
Well, we have some things in the works, but I can't let that out now because of
anything he would say would be inappropriate.
No, it wouldn't. That would...
No.
Yeah. I'm totally good with
Well, we already know Mr. Park is the nail daddy.
Nail?
I don't know. Someone called him that at our regional.
Whoa.
I thought that was a little weird. But yeah, he was like, oh, I'm the nail daddy. And I was
could
like...
see him liking it. He's a good guy. I've met him like 3 or 4 times.
I
like him.
Yeah, no, and he likes
I
you
love
too.
his story. He's all about, chips were down and dude was in it to win it. He had a chance, to walk away, put a bunch of money in his pocket, but he didn't. He, looked at the forest, not the tree.
And I would have taken that check so quick. I still
say
that.
2 kids, a wife at home. They were living on ramen noodles and whatnot, and...
So anyways, we do hope this helps. So I know a couple people have reached out about their husbands. Like, I think this might be available, helpful for them to watch. But just as any stylist.
Well, if any husband has a question, they can reach out to me.
So she said, do men do parties? So, he has, had an ex-girlfriend do a party, and then he actually about the football thing, how he ended up watching and then kind of turning that into a few sales. But it was was it before Christmas?
Yeah.
So not a technical party, but I think it would be fun to do. We've talked about it.
Yeah, I've thought about something, I'm gonna explore. A lot of it's what?
I just wanted to tell, it just can't be around nails, it wasn't planned. It was really impromptu.
Yeah.
He snuck it on him. Kind of have you ever Mary Kay, where they don't tell you they're selling you Mary Kay and they make you think you're coming over for a makeover, and then it turns out that they're trying to sell you Mary Kay.
And you see all these pink Cadillacs pulling up.
So it's they're watching, thinking they're coming over to agree. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna think that's super weird, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I do want to touch on real quick too. One other thing he's done outside the box is the funeral homes.
Things I was thinking about, and I'll share some other ones with you. Were funeral homes. And really, with the funeral homes, it wasn't about the sales. How I came at it is, you offer a service to clients, and it's another facet of your services that you could add, and literally sign them up just give them the opportunity. It wasn't even about a sale, that wasn't even talked about, because they can order what they want. They have the book, they can look through it, they can pick their style,
because he went in there with a lookbook to show them how it works. And that was something that they could offer. And so he has actually gotten to that way. So
and then there's a couple others, but one of them I just through actually being with a bunch of Color Street ladies, and it was brought up, it was talked about, and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. Can I share?
Is that which one? What are you talking about? Yeah, you can.
Oh, is you know how in your area you probably have them all the time? Beauty contests.
For little girls, kids. Little girl pageants.
Think about it. If you could go in there, with a lookbook, or even bring a bunch of different samples in, or even complete sets, petites.
Because they're always looking for a quick way.
A quick way, to do their nails, to go with their outfit and whatnot, and and nothing against them, but a lot of those moms, they're all about that, and if they can find a way, maybe, to upstep, little Susie or whatnot, step on her neck to get to the top, they're going to go for it. There's a lot of different, the more I think about it, there's a lot of different approaches to this. It doesn't have to be,
Thanks for coming on.
What it's been. Or what you've done, think outside the box.
And that's what it's definitely about. Yeah, dance competitions are good too. Dude, anywhere, strip clubs.
Yeah.
You guys saw I do the spas all the time, drag shows, that he mentioned.
And
those
Vegas,
are great.
yeah.
We had the people, that sign up for the Pride stuff. So anyone that has nails, do not count anyone out. That is always my big tip for recruiting and for sales, and that works for no matter what gender we are. And like I said, so anyways, I just wanted to jump on real quick. I hope this helps somebody. We'll keep it on, replay on. We'll make sure we move it to the important album. And, he's pretty much an open book. So feel free to reach out. He's really bad about answering messages, though, so don't feel bad. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.